Yeah.
Hello. Welcome back to
back.
Men
Table Talk.
Right. This would be what?
I don't know what I'm doing.
This would be episode 4, but it's actually episode
3. Well, we had part 2 of the other one.
Yeah, so we had intro, we had part 1 and part 2, so this would be episode 4, but it's actually episode 3.
There you go. This is 3.
But hey guys, as I say, welcome to Men Table Talk. I'm your host, Mike, and
Big G.
Big G. You know, how was your day today, George?
It was good. I'm a mentor, as y'all. I ain't gonna name the company or organization I mentor for, but I mentor middle school kids, and yeah, they're a handful. Mm-hmm. But I love it. I love to pour seed or plant seeds and help. If I'm not gonna be the one, but help flourish it and nurture it, and let them see a different side of it. So I love it. So
and then guys, you can see, man, George just came back from dealing with these kids. And the man don't even look like he was dealing with kids that day. Because some of y'all who's in the teaching field who would train with kids, some of y'all know that it can be stressful, but it don't look like it. So I gotta give him props for that, man. I think it was me. I'd be like, hey guys, what's up? This man got energy for days, man.
Yeah, man, listen. How's your day today?
Good, man. I went to the office and was trying to clean up some space on my computer and learn some new skills when it comes to Men Table Talk and even my personal things, you know.
There you go.
So it's just I'm still in a learning process, and for a lot of you guys that don't know this, I've been hearing a lot in the manosphere on YouTube that men should get into STEM, right? Mm-hmm. So I hope I don't get this wrong. So STEM is science, technology. Mm-hmm. What's the E? Engineering.
And math.
Math
or mechanics?
Mechanics, maybe. I don't know.
Mechanics, one of them.
But here's what I'm going to always do. Whenever I get this wrong, when edited, I'm just going to put it there, what it means. But the reason why men should get into STEM is because of how our genetic makeup is. We lead towards the more creative side and, messing with things. So when it comes to STEM, those are the things that you deal with. And then, women usually lead towards like hospitality and HR and things of that nature. Not saying that there's not the mix where ladies can do this or that. It doesn't matter. It's just what you're more geared towards. So I'm learning to code as well. Oh, wow. So yeah. So I'm trying to get into.
You're doing a whole lot like I'm doing the same thing too. You mentioned all of that.
Well,
that's funny.
I would promote that every person. We're talking to men. That's why I say every man should have some skill that they continually work on year after year so that they have some leverage. When 2019 COVID-19 happened, so that's 2020, right? I believe that put things in perspective because you saw doors were closing on some jobs, and then opportunities were open where people in STEM were home working while people who are in the service field, what were they doing? They had to get out there, top their bootstrap and work. You know what I mean? Yeah. So having the skill that if something happened, you can leverage yourself somewhere else, I think is vital for everyone. Is. So other than that, my day was good. So I am thankful. And then I do have to thank you because you've given me a list of stuff that I need to do to work on so I can become like him. So today's topic is looking back. So when I mentioned that phrase, looking back, what do you think of, George?
looking back at my past and really understanding how far I came. So it's like almost when you look back, you measuring how far you have progressed from your past life. So that's what I really think.
See, what I really believe is a lot of things, a lot of key points of our life is held in our past. So if we learn from those things, right, then it can help us with the situation that we're dealing with right now. So, guys, I have some notes written down. And one of we have 5 points that we want to discuss when it comes to looking back. And when we're talking about looking back, we're talking about you personally looking back on your life, George personally looking back on his life, viewers, myself, looking back on our life and try to see the things that happened in our past that affects us and cause us to be the person that we are now, right? And so the first point is, what is the value of looking back?
The value of looking back. It's just different nuggets from, I'll be very transparent, some of the stuff that I did back in my days. I look back and just seeing that, I know I don't want to repeat the process because I know exactly what that process or what that situation will lead me into. So, for example, now drinking. I was a partyhead. I mean, I used to party from Wednesday, Thursday. My weekend started on Wednesday because they used to have first Wednesdays. So Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sunday. Even on Sunday, I go to church on Sunday morning and then go right in the club on Sunday night because I was so used to just being. Because I grew up in the church, I was so used to. You wanted your freedom. You wanted to get out and blow some steam. But on Sunday, I used to be, even though I was blowing out steam, I still knew I had to go back to this particular house. Particular place, this house.
Father, forgive me.
But at the same time, at that night, I'm getting prepared to go back to that place.
Oh, man.
But I had to look back and understand the stuff that I used to do when I was drinking. Because I used to drink a lot. I wasn't an alcoholic, I want to say, because I didn't drink like every day. It was just special occasions. Like if I'm going to the club, I didn't want to spend. I was that guy sometimes. I didn't want to spend how many drinks? $10 per cup. That means I'm going to drink how many? $50? I'm going to spend to drink five. Nah. I'm going to go buy me a bottle down the street, drink it at home, be okay. And if I want to get a couple of cups and walk around with it for hours. Y'all know what I know y'all walk around with that one cup for hours. But just looking at that, the stuff that I used to do when I was intoxicated in those moments is, I'm like, I ain't supposed to be dead in jail and probably would have hurt somebody. I did hurt some people physically, and I could have hurt people even driving. And looking back, I don't have no DUI in my record, and I used to drive. I mean, I used to drive drunk, and I got pulled. I'm going to share this short story. I remember I got pulled over after a club, and I was drunk that to the point this cop pulled me over. And I'm dead. I'm gone. I'm out of here. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to jail. He smelled me as soon as he pulled down. He gonna smell. I'm gonna get DUI. He just went in. He pulled me over. He knocked. This was like 4:00 in the morning. He said, sir. I said, how you doing, officer? And I'm like this. How you doing, officer? He said, turn on your headlights. Have a great day. Wait, what? When I was supposed to win home. I was supposed to go home. I was supposed to go to somebody else, a friend house. At that time, afterwards, did you know I still went?
And did you drink some more?
No, I didn't. But I instead of me turning around, because my house was like maybe 2 streets down.
Yeah.
Instead of turning around and saying, no, man, no, go home, go to sleep, forget the friend. I'm finna just sit here. No, because I just got away from going to jail.
Yeah.
I still, knucklehead me, said, man, I'm missing out.
Yeah.
And still went to the place. Thank God I didn't get in no car accident. Thank God I came back home with no problem. But still, just looking at those type of moments, it make me look back and like, man, I can't repeat those same process because I know where I would end up at. So
you would say the value of looking back is to protect you from repeating mistakes.
There you go.
Okay.
From repeating mistakes.
And then as George was sharing his story, like the point that I would say is to the value of looking back is to bring forth gratitude, because it's like, the situation, you could have gotten arrested, but you gotta remain thankful because it could turn out that way.
Listen,
and even though it's not really George's story, but I'm sure every single one of us have something like this where if we look back, we can find situations that we are truly thankful for, or there's someone in the situation where they did something for us that either we forgot to say thank you for years ago, or it just came to our mind that we could just say, you know what, I need to call that person up and say, hey man, I don't know if you remember this, but you did this for me years ago, and because of what you did, I don't know if you take it. I don't know how you know. I don't know if you know how much it affected me, but I just want to thank you for that. So I think that's a value of looking back, is to find all these things and to show your gratitude, and as you say, to protect yourself from repeating the same mistake over and over again.
And another one with that one, to unlearn some stuff. So stuff that you learned in your past, even if it's from your mom, it might be sticky for most guys because most of us could be mama boys, and even grandmothers.
Yeah.
Some stuff that they had taught us probably wasn't true, and if we look back, we're like, why they said that? And we gotta understand it probably was a protection thing, and most likely it was that they had to say certain stuff just to protect us. But if you listen back, you're like, that's not what. Wait, what? And you just really like, okay, I'm not gonna bring that. Even though I understand what's the concept of it, I can't teach this way to my kids because that's not the way I would say it. In a way, meaning it was very harsh, with no love and no. Even though I didn't have no right to question my parents,
right?
But
which most of us didn't at that time.
At that time, you couldn't question. Now we got the luxury. Kids now got the luxury to question a little bit to get a deeper understanding. But some stuff you can just really unlearn and make it your own in a way. Because it's tradition. That's what it is. It's certain tradition too. That
so
it's sticky. It's that sticky.
So basically, you're saying it's valuable to learn from your past, and sometimes what you need to learn is how to unlearn so that you can relearn the right thing.
There you go. That's what I was going. Okay. Unlearn to relearn.
Unlearn to relearn.
There you go.
Because the thing is, even though the things that we've learned from our past, right, it has some value to it.
Yeah.
But the thing is sometimes it just needs to be tweaked with the current reality. You know what I mean? So I think, yes, that is important. The value to learn from our past by learning, because we have to learn now, to unlearn in order to relearn. And then that brings value to us. And then now we have to take what we learned and then pass it on to the next generation.
There you go.
So you pass it on to your kids.
There you go.
I know because even in the Christian faith, for me, there's some things that I've read in scriptures that I had to unlearn because when I actually read the scripture, not listening to how it's preached, but actually reading the scripture with the context, I realize that what was taught to me is not what it says. So there is a difference. And then the thing is, even with a slight difference, it changes the meaning of the story. You know what I'm saying? So that's important as well.
Exactly.
Our next point is the value of a strong mentor. And this is talking about looking back in our past. So as you were growing up, thinking back, would you say having a mentor... Okay, let me ask you this. Did you have a mentor? And if you did, you know, was it a good value? What was the value of having a mentor?
I didn't necessarily have a mentor until I changed my life and got back into the faith. Well, back then, if I consider my coaches, because how should I say this? I can say it. I didn't know my biological father, but I had a stepfather that raised me from 3 until I was 16. He left. He left us, left the family, just up and left. That same year, maybe months later, my mom came to me and said, "Your father died." So I'm thinking it's
your stepdad.
There you go.
Right.
But she was saying my biological father that I never met, never seen a picture of. All I knew was his name. And yeah, so just I had certain people, like when I started playing sports, those coaches was more of my mentors.
Right.
I respected them, but I didn't know that was my mentor. You know, back then you look back and you like, man, they was my mentors. Because I value everything that they did and I'm applying it now. Like I had a coach, Coach Garnett. He loved his kids. He loved his wife. And I used to see that. And guess what I'm doing now? I'm loving my wife and loving. I have a son now that I want to pour into and continue loving him just like the love that I wanted, but express it to him. You know what I mean? So those, if I look back, not knowing that they were my mentors, I say my coaches was my mentor. And some of the guys, well, no, a couple of the guys at the churches I grew up was also my mentor, meaning like my best friend, dad, which was our pastor. He was like a mentor to me. Just looking back, even if you want to say some of the not so great influence, just the methods, even some of the methods, like the business methods of some of the guys I used to watch them and hear them, and when they did different things, I don't want to go into it, but they did different transactions and different things, and I'm listening, and I'm like looking at their mindset and the driven and the consistency that they willing to do this to really get this money and really produce, and they continue executing. That's the same thing I'm trying to do now. Because
even though they may not do certain things that are kosher, right? They still had a goal and they were still executing.
There you go.
Your coaches told you, set a goal and execute. Because whatever sports you're playing, if you wanna achieve this, you need to train, right? So they're teaching you those values, and those values are that helped shape you to who you are now. You know, and a lot of people don't realize the importance of having a strong mentor, like now in your current life, but some of them don't realize the mentors that they have in their past. And just as I said, your mentor can be good, or they can teach you things that are, you know, not proper, but there's still some value to it. You know, and going back to what we mentioned earlier about gratitude, some of those people deserve our gratitude to say, you know, Coach, you may not know this, but you know, if I wasn't playing sports with you, I probably would have been out in the streets doing who knows what, and I would have got myself in trouble. But I really thank you for taking the time to coach me, so that those values I've taken here, and then even that coach you mentioned, you saw how he treated his wife, and now you're taking that and you're implementing that. So now your son, as he grows up and he's watching you, you are the mentor for him. So he's seeing that thing, and he's gonna apply it to his life. You know, and so that carries on. Talk about learning and teaching. Carrying on to the next generation.
What about you? What you
see? I would say my strong mentor would have been my dad.
Okay.
Or would be my dad. And the thing is, with my dad, when I was in Jamaica, I lived with my mom first, my aunt, my grandmother, and then I started living with my dad when I was 8. Right. So when I was 8, like, he was tough, man. Like, would whoop my behind, when, you know what I mean? And, like I was, afraid of my dad. You know what I mean? I didn't want to get in trouble at all at school, because if I had gotten in trouble in school, I know he was gonna beat me. You know what I mean? For the American folks, spank. For everyone else, it's beating. Whooping, man. You know what I mean? And so that was what I was brought up on. And he taught me a lot of things that, as a man, like, I'm 36 years old, and I see these younger people, and like, some people don't know how to put in a fan. Like, I can install a light. Some people can't do that. Some people can't change a car tire. Those things were, he taught me. Oil change, he taught me. You know what I mean? Even my dad was so much of a mentor in my life that when I was 15, I got a cell phone, and he's like, now you got that, you're gonna pay your cell phone bill. So I was paying my cell phone bills since I was 15. I was paying my own health insurance when I was 16. What? Because he's just like, his thing was to teach me responsibility, and then now you take care of it. You know what I mean? Because the thing, I was paying at 16. I was paying my car insurance. I was paying my cell phone bill. I was paying my health insurance. Wow. That's and great. then he would tell me. That's great. Then he would, like, if anything happened to me, you are the oldest. You'll be the man of the house. And then he'll show me a drawer where these are the documents that you would need. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So that's good, though. Yeah, he prepared me. So a lot of those things I hold on to, because the thing is, when I have my family, I want to implement those as well. There you go. And I've told him this to his face. I said, there are things that I didn't like that he did when I was growing up that I would never do to my kids. So I learned to do the opposite. So it's still teaching me, in order to do that. Even to say that, I don't want to exclude my stepdad out of this, because he was, and just thinking about that, because he taught me how to work. I mean, I'm 5 years old. What I'm doing in the yard, plucking weeds. I'm cutting sugar cane and replanting the sugar cane, and I remember this like it was yesterday. I'm supposed to be eating cereal, watching Bobby's World or cartoon. No, he got me up. He said, "Let's go cut this yard." I'm like, "What? It's Saturday." I didn't get it. I'm like, and this was going on for a bit. You know what I mean? To the point that it taught me work ethic. Learning how to become a man, and you have to get up and go get it, and go do it yourself, and not let anybody just tend to your yard. You have to go out there and tend to your own yard, so you can take care of it. So I tell you this, right? And this is why men are needed back in the school teaching. This is why men need to be teaching men, young men, right? Because the thing is, with men, we're good with our hands. We're good to do things. You talk about like how nowadays you have people who are, say, ADD and ADHD and all that energy. Back in the day, by the time you done cut the lawn, by the time you done clean this, clean that, you have no energy left because you're spent. You know what I mean? But nowadays, kids don't even know to start a mower, man. You know what I mean?
They don't, man. I'm glad that you're telling me, because as a mentor, I'm finna bring that up, that we need to... I'm gonna have a day of, we finna go mow somebody's yard in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Let's go out here, or I got my truck or my car. Let's change these tires, even though they don't need to be changed.
Yeah.
But you're gonna take it out and put it in. Value. Because they not getting taught that no more.
No, not at all.
And that's why we need more mentors, guys. I'm one of the mentors. Mentors are really needed. Mm-hmm. Not only in our community, in every community.
No,
it's crazy. Like it's not like, oh, the urban community only. No, it's like everywhere now. They need men to step up, to be men to.
It's not just mentor though. Like, we need men teachers.
Yeah,
we need men back in the school.
Yeah,
I think it was Louisiana that recently had which we could talk about this probably another time, but I guess there was a lot of fights in the school. So a group of dad, and if I find a picture, I'll post it up. A group of dad decided that they're going to go to the schools. And what happened? Fight stopped. Right, because they see the authority in it. And granted, guys, this is not to disrespect the teachers, female teachers, that they're doing a good job. But the thing is, it's different. It's a different atmosphere, a different feel when there's a man in the room. And when it's a group of men that say, hey, no, you guys are not going to be doing that. You know what I mean? When I was growing up in Jamaica, man, like, you could be in Ocho Rios and you misbehave. By the time you go home, you're going to get a whooping, because the news already traveled to your home. And make it be someone, a brother, a man that knows you and knows your family. They'll whoop your behind right there on the streets. Yeah. They'll whoop you, and you better not go home and tell your dad, Mr. Charlie whipped me.
Yeah. That's how I would.
Why Charlie beat you? Well, Charlie already told him what happened, so you go tell him that, you get another whooping, man. Yeah. So it's just like, men, we need to start stepping out in the community, and we need to, because young girls need to see men in authority, in leadership position. Young men need to see that as well, so that they can have something to look up to, something to as a goal. Like, this is what I'm gonna be like when I get older. You know what I mean?
And some men probably gonna say, well, we can't do that in this time because it's woman independence. We're driven in. Listen, the more we say those type of things, the more it's going to be our reality. So we have to execute those type of thoughts. It may be, but it can't be our reality that us men can't step up. I always say this, because we might have to do a part 2 of this. We definitely may have to do a part 2. But I would say this, I never want to be, as a man, when I'm 70 or 80 years old, to really be the guy to say, what's wrong with this generation? Why they doing X, Y, and Z? And I never imparted. I never sold. I never took time to really help even one of that generation that going through whatever it is. I didn't put my part into it and really try to be a mentor to the ones that are needed, because mentors are needed, not only in our community, even with us. We all gonna need 5 or 6 mentors for different areas of our life. So,
all right, guys, hold for 1 second.
Part 2.